Okay, Tribal Council. I think I know what's gonna happen tonight. I've been chatting it up with different people, and I'm in different group chats, and everyone's making plans, but I didn't realize how well I kind of got myself in the mix of all of it, which could come to bite me in the ass, I will say. Sometimes being a little too involved can, especially early in the game, being too involved can kind of paint a target on your back, but I've been trying to stay neutral but involved. So we'll see.
So Tribal Council is tomorrow, and there is no scenario in which I am using my immunity idol tomorrow. I even toyed with the idea of maybe I shouldn't bring it, okay? Because the way things are going down, it's definitely going to be Arju who gets voted off. He was the reason why we didn't win that challenge. We literally didn't have enough building materials. So my idea is I'm just gonna lay low, play it cool. People will argue about it, but we all know the way this is going down. Arju's the weak link. And we'll live to fight another day. That's what's happening.
I think we're kind of, in the beginning, people were leaning towards me or Monica because we weren't here last week. I think it was Emily that kind of pushed that on. But kind of hearing that she can be a little bit commanding at times or shutting down ideas regarding the flag ideas. So it might be that she might be getting kicked out just to have a better team morale.
Yeah, I have different people thinking I'm gonna vote, different people, so we'll see what happens at Tribal tonight, but I think I know who's going home. And yeah, let's just say it's someone who I think is very dangerous and I want out of the game early. So I'm taking my chance while people are still kind of debating, we should vote out, so-and-so because they're sick or weren't here. And it just kind of feels grimy to me. I'd rather vote out somebody who's played already, let the people who haven't played yet have a chance. So that's what I'm gonna do tonight. And yeah, let's see. Let's hope an idol doesn't show up.
All right, welcome to Tribal Council. This is Tribal Council, where fire represents your life. Once your fire is out, you are out of the game. So I'm gonna begin Tribal Council off with, does anyone have anything they want to say about how the challenge went or what you're thinking so far? Anyone want to volunteer?
We were definitely not prepared.
Not as prepared.
Not as prepared as the other team.
Well, who could be as prepared as a whole tree or the
But they spent a lot of money on they spent a lot of money.
It's somehow they knew. It's
creative with what we had.
I think so.
we worked well as a team.
Yeah, we
I think we did well as a team.
Just outplayed, that's it.
So
It's hard to even be mad.
So you guys work well as a team. To what extent do you guys think that being at the challenge physically is going to play a role in the vote tonight? There were two people, you guys both know, weren't able to make it to the challenge. What do you think, Arju? Do you think that's going to play a role tonight?
I do definitely think it's going to play a role, but the game is not just that challenge. The game is not just that one night. It's a couple weeks of interaction, so we'll see how that plays out, I guess.
Yeah, I think we were also both sick, so hopefully we get a little bit of pity. And it was nice meeting everyone the first time. We'll see how it goes. I do think it
Okay. Grant, do you have any thoughts about idols? Things that have you guys been looking?
Wow.
Any word on the street right now?
I've been looking everywhere. Couldn't find it today. I checked some spots that pertain to power and sticks, but couldn't find anything. It's a tricky riddle, man. You think that? That's tough.
Okay.
I don't know. Did anybody find it? I know they're not going to say anything.
So is the general consensus that it hasn't been found yet? Is that kind of...
I'd say so.
At least least everyone I've talked to.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. What about alliances? I've been hearing a lot of talk. I think there's talk going on within your tribe. Where do the lines fall, Milena? Alex?
We at least have an alliance.
No way.
Do you think that the two of you together is gonna play a factor in tonight?
It probably will play a factor in that we vote similarly, and hopefully it plays a factor in that everyone else knowing that we vote similarly is less likely to get out. That's what we're hoping.
Yep.
I don't know if that's actually the case.
Coleman, are you confident that the plan tonight is in effect and is gonna happen, or are you not sure?
I'm about 70-30, I think. That
Does-
70, it's gonna go the way I think it's going.
Does anyone want to raise their hand? Do you feel completely safe tonight?
Yeah, I feel like it's a mixed bag. My heart says no because it's power.
It's hard to, like, yeah.
Well,
First tribal.
well, with that in mind, it is now time to vote.
I'm nervous, folks. I'm nervous.
Hi guys, today is our first tribal council and I'm gonna vote out Alex because that's what we agreed on. And I feel a little bit bad because he gave us Swedish fish, but you know what? This was the original plan before we came in, and that's all I have to say about that. Voting Alex out.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. I'm voting for Archie.
Alright, it is my turn to vote now. And let's see how this works. I think you guys know who I'm voting for. Sorry, Emily.
I'm sorry, but this is just because everyone else is doing it too. Or at least that's my understanding.
All right. The first vote.
No, wait, you didn't ask.
Wait.
Oh, right. Sorry. What's the line?
If anybody has a.
Yeah. If anyone has a hidden immunity idol now and wants to play it, now is the time to do so.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. First vote. Emily. Second vote. Emily.
What did I do? Oh my god, someone really doesn't like me.
Third vote. Alex. It's 2 votes Emily, 1 vote Alex. Alex. That's 2 and 2. 2 votes Emily, 2 votes Alex. Arju. It's 2 votes Emily, 2 votes Alex, 1 vote Arju. Alex. That's 3 votes Alex, 2 votes Emily, 1 vote Arju. Emily. That's 3 votes Emily, 3 votes Alex, 1 vote Arju. And the first person voted out of Survivor Space City, Alex. Alex, if you could come forward. So Alex, you're the first vote out. Any thoughts?
I have the immunity idol, and I was confident that I didn't need to use it, but yes, I did.
So here's a twist that nobody else knows except for you. You are not out of this game. We are playing Beginner's Luck Redemption. The first person voted out is gonna come back in a couple weeks. So you're not out of this game. You can't tell anyone that you're coming back, but you're not out.
Well, I still have the immunity idol. I'm gonna come back, figure out who did this with vengeance.
Sorry, man. Nothing personal. Just too dangerous. Can't let it in my game.
I'm voting for because you're too strong of a power couple.
This did not go how I thought it was gonna go. From the start of the game, I could already trust Alex and Mylena, and those are the two people I for sure trusted. We brought in Jason to make our alliance bigger and better and stronger, but I think I jumped the gun too fast. And I think with that, Jason played me. He played me. He played us. He changed his vote, and he didn't vote for Emily. So he played the game well. Good job, Jason.
Oh my gosh!
Leave it here. Bruce, leave it here.
Run off with them.
Watch your fingers.
Oh my god, you got this. Right? Yeah, I feel like I could have been useful for this.
One word.
Right, Brophy?
What's that?
I could have been useful for this.
You really could have,
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, you would have been great at this one.
Hold on.
Let's look at those arms on the cameraman here. Give me a... Yeah, that would have been useful on the sawing, wouldn't it?
You hate to see it.
Or like never ever.
Engineer. I don't really don't have an eye.
Oh yeah, that has to be it. I just like freaking them off.
Okay, bro.
What is it?
Perseverance.
You got it! Blue team!
Can we put someone back on our team now that we...
You cannot. And immunity goes to Orion's Bloodline. I'll be seeing you all at Tribal Council.
Good job.
What do you have to say?
We had perseverance.
Tribal was tough. I just tried to stay quiet and say as least as possible. Didn't want to give away the vote, but seeing Alex kind of tear up, you know, he was excited to be here. It was very sad to see him go, but it had to be done. They were just too strong. You know, it was a throuple. Perseverance, I think there's some kind of rover statue over here by the globe. I'm wasting no time. I'm going straight there. All right, let's go.
I think we did good on this challenge. It was great. I think we all did teamwork. Each one of us were pretty good. Still kind of sad that Alex is not there to enjoy the victory with us. But Melina pulled through. She got the word, perseverance. We kind of do have a sort of clue on the immunity. Jason has the pictures, so I'm just kind of waiting for him to send it to us, and we'll see where that kind of takes us, you know? I'm just glad we're not at Tribal next week.
I just saw the clue, and I just pieced it together. I was laying in bed, I pieced it together, I Google Earthed the location, and then I was like, I'll get it on my way to work. I'm in my jammies, laying in bed, I'll get it on my way to work. And then I tried to sit down and relax, and then I'm like, nope, can't do it. I also only live 2 minutes away from this globe, so, you know, let's hope it's here. Across the water feature. This is definitely where you took that picture. Jammies. If somebody beat me here, I'm gonna be so upset.
All right, so we had our first vote out tonight, but that's not really what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about the challenge either. I want to talk about the fact that Takeri has Emily on their team making a anagram solving algorithm that accounts for the flip tiles from this challenge in order to see where the hidden word clue is in the data set. She's made a data set of 1,200 different words that can be created, and they're going to comb through that data set to see if anything pops out as a possible clue to where the hidden immunity idol is. This idol has already been found by Coleman, as 2/3 of the idols have, but still pretty impressive thing that you would never see on the real TV show. Gotta love it.
So it's the morning after the tribal council, and I think I was definitely more subdued after the way things went down. I think I went into it super cocky, and just seeing how things panned out, like, holy cow, I almost lost. Seems like other people were way more gung-ho about forming this alliances thing than me. And so I think I should definitely do that more for the subsequent ones. You know, Foster mentioned to me that You know, some people were thinking of voting for Alex and Melena. He didn't mention that he had gotten like half the tribe on his side to do that. And so I'm rather taken aback by that, but also it's like what ended up saving my bacon because, you know, they were able to outvote the other major faction of the tribe. What I'm hoping though is that this makes me less of a target now, because clearly I'm not aligned with either side, although the fact that the 3 decided to vote for me, I don't know, that's kind of forced me into one camp. So I'm not sure really where that makes me stand with everyone else.
Yesterday was the balance beam challenge, and Will and I both got a hint that there would be a hint in the challenge. We lied to our team and said we didn't find it, but we did. It was globe, which is why I'm here investigating, because there's a globe over there. And that's the same one that Brophy had in his picture on the hint, so I know I'm in the right spot, but I can't find anything. I did find out through different routes that the other team is getting different hits than us, though. So that means someone on our team has this idol. I just don't know who, or it's just really well hidden and I can't find it.
I would think that if anyone's a target, it'd be Coleman, because she definitely organized that whole plan to take down Alex. So I think if there's ever another tribal council, like, people will be taking serious aim at her. So hopefully that makes me less off the hook. But in the meantime, I think I definitely want to keep stocking up on immunity idols, just in case. I won't get caught blindsided again. Guys, I'm so excited. Look at this. Here. I'm here with my bag, and at first I was disappointed. I was like, oh, no one took the bait. Look, my idol's still here. But check it out. I reach in here. If I can pull it out, it's not my idol that comes out. Someone else planted a fake immunity idol. So that means my immunity idol definitely got picked up by someone who's in the game. Dun dun dun! And I'll just leave this one here to screw over whoever comes after me, because clearly they think it's the official bag if they left it hanging in the tree. Ah! Yay for making cool custom bags!
So, went back to Pluto, mostly to go to look at the Neptune sign. Saw an H clue, counted the H's in the clue, blah blah blah. I was just chasing straws, and I found this. So, I think that whoever found my fake idol planted a fake idol, and I came and found it. I went ahead and took it. I thought about leaving it, you know, somebody else could get it and be bamboozled, but I went ahead and took it in case it is real, and, you know, I would play it first. This is what it looks like. That's it.
Believe it or not, Foster had actually found all of the needed clues from the clue we had received. He already had figured out that Pluto was another word for Hades. He already knew Space Center Houston because of the closing hours. He had figured out all the pieces from the clue that I had. It's just the particular installation. I mean, it wasn't part of his evoked set of possibilities, right? If you've never heard of a place, you can't guess that might be where it is. And I have a feeling this is what a lot of people struggled with too, because that's where I struggled with. I mean, a lot of my time in figuring out this clue was just me making Google search after Google search of variations of, like, Pluto, Space Center, Houston, you know, grouping all these words any which way I could, until finally way down on the list I see this website that has a map to exactly what I'm looking for. So
got a good workout in, so a little tired, a little hungry, perfect time to go idol hunting. I think that Foster has the one from the last challenge clue with the boards. It's been unusually quiet, but I'm just gonna go looking around. I have this fixation with signs right now. The Johnson Space Center sign, the Space Center Houston sign. I might go to Clear Lake Park sign. I'll let you know.
Bruce texted me and let me know that Weston said something about him having a clue. And I told him Weston is either bluffing with you, or he has maybe an alliance with another team, someone on the other team, and got their clue. Or he has some clue that Brophy's put out that I'm totally not aware of. And I asked him to get a little more information if he could, discreetly. So it's nice to have a little spy and figure out what Weston's up to right now.
Tomorrow is our first tribal council, and I'm voting out Weston. I think there's a chance he has an idol, and I think he's a really strategic player, so I just got to get him out early. I've gotten Will and Marissa with me to vote him out, and Marissa is going to surprise, I guess, Bruce and Ryan into voting for him tomorrow. So she talked to both of them and convinced them to vote with her so that she can have a majority. But she didn't want to tell them who we're voting for. And I think that's a good idea because I still think Ryan's working with Weston. So we got to play it safe with them. I'm worried she might become a target because she's talking to so many people. I hope she doesn't, but we'll see what happens with that. I am not worried though. We have me, Will, Marissa, and potentially Bruce and Ryan to vote for Weston, so things aren't looking too bad.
I'm honestly a little nervous. This week, like, just outside of Survivor has been so stressful with work and then travel and lots of things going on. And then to add the layer of, you know, social engineering and like the part that I'm playing and having to respond to Discord messages and texts and calls and remember what face to put on has been really tricky. I say that what face thing because, you know, at the beginning of the game, I tried to be as neutral as I could. But then in order to make certain alliances, I had to expose the fact that I really like Survivor. I feel like I really understand the game and that I'm here to play. Which means that, for me at least, I feel like it's more of a game of chess than anything else. But to make other alliances, I had to act like I was just there for friends. And then on the other side of things, I had to be, to everyone else I'm not in an alliance with, I'm trying to not show myself as a huge threat. Somebody who maybe doesn't know how to play the game very well, who doesn't understand all the you know, like I said, the chess that goes on behind it. And so when I'm talking to different people, I have to remember, like, who am I to this person? And that's a bit difficult for me because I'm in real life, I'm never like that. And so it's like, it's a whole new ball game. But anyway, I'm going to send you this video because it's taking too long. So I like everybody on the team, and it's kind of hard to, I don't know, choose somebody that you don't want to be on the team anymore. And I actually made little printouts of the meme that says, it's a picture of Captain Picard, and it says, you know, sometimes it is possible to commit no error and still fail. That is not, and still lose. That is not failure, that is life. And I felt like that kind of describes Survivor really well, so I printed it out, and so whoever gets voted out, I'm gonna give them one of those, so hopefully they know it's not personal. Hopefully it'll ease the blow a little bit, and I mean, I hope I'm not giving it to myself at the end of the day.
No.
You're already on film.
No, I know I am.
Alright, fine, it's alright now.
You're so... You're not secretive. Okay.
What did he say?
Well, he asked me how things, what my thoughts, where is it? So Ryan texted me asking what my thoughts were on Tribal, and I responded trying to flip the conversation to get him to answer, but he never responded, so that's all.
But ultimately where I'm sitting right now is I think the biggest threat on my team is Weston. I think that he knows how to play the game. And at some point in time, he told Bruce that he had an immunity idol clue. And I was like, there's no way he could have that immunity idol clue unless A, Bruce gave it to him, which Bruce was the one that told me this. And he hadn't given it to Weston. Or maybe he has an alliance on the blue team. Or maybe he figured out something else that we don't know. Now, the clue that Bruce gave me, I know he doesn't have that immunity idol because I have that immunity idol. And nobody else knows that. Which I feel so guilty about. Like, Alyssa and I are just like becoming really good friends. And I love Alyssa. And I feel so awful that I'm keeping this secret from her.
I'll text Green.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, let me text Green. I'm worried he's in here and I'm just not seeing him.
He's not. I would have seen him.
Okay. Yeah, I get all excited and I've been planning. And then I'll call Dylan and explain it to him and I'm all like into it. And then afterwards I film the video, which is also kind of why it's not. Are you secretly filming? You totally are. That one was better than the first one you tried to hide.
But anyway, Weston is who I think is who I know I'm going with to try and vote out this tribal. And I have a feeling that Weston might be doing the same thing for me, which is putting me on edge. However, I know Alyssa is going to vote for Weston as well. She agreed. And she was able to get Will to also vote for Weston. And she sent me a screenshot of the text confirming that. Which means I only had to pull my other two alliances and we had over a majority. So I called, or I got a text from Bruce and we were going back and forth and Bruce said some things and I told Bruce, I said, I want to tell you, but I'm afraid that you might be in an alliance with this person that I'm going to vote for. So I'm to be honest, I'm a little nervous. And then he told me back, he's like, I can, some things to assure me. And then he came up with a suggestion. He's like, how about this? If all that I said to assure you isn't enough, why don't you just tell me right before tribal? And that way I don't have any time to like collude behind your back. And I was like, that's brilliant, Bruce. Thank you. And so I'm going to tell Bruce, and I have his word that he's also going to vote for whoever I tell him. And I did confirm to him, I said, listen, other people are going to vote for him as well. If you do, we'll have a majority. You will be safe, and this person will be out. And then Ryan and I talked on the phone, and Ryan, Ryan I highly suspect was in an alliance with Weston. But on the phone, he kind of convinced me otherwise. But I didn't even want to put that like clue in his mind, because I was pretty sure he would turn around and tell Wes if they were in an alliance. And I was so sure they were. So when I called Ryan, I was like, oh, I don't know, what are you thinking? And then I kind of like walked through. I'm like, well, I kind of want to maybe it would be wise to vote out like the biggest threat. And he's like, so who are you thinking? And I'm like, well, I have a person in mind who I think's the biggest threat. Now I think about it. And then I said, and you know what? I heard some whispers that somebody might be voting for this person as well. And when I said that, he was like, oh, well, who? And then I realized I might have shown my hand a little bit, shown him that I was actually thinking about this a little more beforehand than I had originally let on. So that was a mistake on my end. But anyway, I told him, I said, listen, how about I tell you right before tribal? I said, what I can assure you is I'm pretty sure that if you vote this way, then based off the person who told me, I think we'll have a majority. And he was like, okay, that works for me. So hopefully it does. I really don't want to have to play my immunity idol anytime soon. Ideally we won't have many more tribal councils, but yeah, I would like to hold it to the merger if I can. But yeah, I just found out that my flight next week will not be getting back in time. I thought that it was, so I will not be here next week, which means if we lose a challenge today, I'll be absent at tribal council, and I really don't want that to happen. Lastly though, like, Alyssa's my #1 alliance. I know she knows how to play the game, and I do trust her, but I was reading a book and it was all about Sith Lords, and they're basically playing a game of Survivor. In order for them to get to the highest level of power, like, being a Sith is all about deception and cunning and things like that. So even their closest alliances, they always held something else back. because there's always a high likelihood that even the people that they train will turn on them, because that's just the way of the dark side. And I feel like that's similar to Survivor. So anyway, I am holding this one thing back from Alyssa, but like I said, she's a really good player, which means wouldn't she hold something back from me as well? And so I kind of wonder what that is. Anyway, this is getting interesting.
Hi Brophy, this is Weston. We're about to go into our first tribal council as Orion's bloodline. I'm actually feeling good. I believe Ryan, Will, and probably Alyssa are not in an alliance, but they're gonna probably vote together. Bruce, I'm having to assume has the idol, so I can't vote on him. Marissa and Alyssa, I think, are also kind of together, so I really can't vote out them. Originally, we were all, before last meeting, leaning towards voting out Steven, but Steven showed he was pretty valuable and was in it, so I think he's safe. That leaves Ben, who I think is probably going to be the one who's going to go. I actually met up with him on Saturday, and he's actually not going to be here this first meeting, so I think it's probably safe to say that Ben's going to be out this first round. But I have to hope they don't try and blindside me early and take me out early, like Alex. All right, Brophy, I'll see you later today, and good luck to everyone else. Bye-bye.
So there's no one on the team I really dislike, per se. So no one I really wanted to vote out. Steven seems like maybe an obvious choice just because his attendance record. But some of these challenges seem to not necessarily, punish bigger teams. So actually I think I'll vote for someone else. So I want to say her name is Madison, who I'm kind of in a alliance with, supposedly at least. We'll see how that pans out. So we're gonna see if we can all vote for Weston. We'll see if that works, and if not, I guess I'll find some ice cream around here, and I can guess that, $300 grand prize,
I'm on my way to tribal council right now, and I kind of think Marissa and I are the only ones with alliances right now. So Ryan's texting me, so I know Marissa talked to Ryan, and Ryan is now talking to me about what she said, but he hasn't said a name. So maybe no one has alliances but me and Marissa, which means we can just run the whole game, or they're all conning us. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Anyway, these are my thoughts. Survivor is stressful.